ATL, four-man team, hear the victory bell. Grappling on the mat, showing what we made of. No doubt we're a family, the respect's a labor of love. Each move, each role, telling our own tale. In the heart of the city, where legends prevail. Atlanta submission series, we're on the rise. Team tie strong, watch us claim the prize. Jiu-Jitsu's our game, community's the goal. In this arena, the legends unfold. Four fighters, four styles, with one dream to chase. In the submission series, we're owning the space. Training hard.
I don't know any of the lyrics to it.
Okay.
That was our song by AI, and it was amazing that it was able to do that.
Spencer's really been just running hog wild with the AI the last few days.
The AI can do anything for you. It's amazing. I'm a big fan of it. Anyone that's against it is not. I'm not a fan of.
Yeah,
honestly.
they just haven't been trying to write bangers like we have.
You can write songs
that's,
with ease.
Yeah, that's the trump card right there.
Yeah.
All the arguments that can be made, that one wins out.
All right. Well, we are into. All right. Let's get to our real intro though, real quick, because we got Dylan. You know, this is the real intro. All right. So for the intro today, we're gonna go over a couple of things here with you guys. We got the intro to the pod, so what we're going through now. Then we're gonna go to talk about the final 2 days. Who is our personal favorite grapplers and teams? When the next event and season is gonna be? Changes we want to make and things we want to implement going forward. Exposure is our main goal versus money in season 1, and the future of the podcast. So, with that,
grab those dipsticks, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another hour with the Oil Check Club.
I'm gonna forever hate this, forever.
Which is why I'm gonna lean into it twice as hard.
Oh man! All right.
What's first on the docket?
We got the talk about the final 2 days.
Jesus, man.
Dude, it was crazy.
It felt like the final 2 decades.
I know, dude. Those final 72 hours was crazy.
Man, well, Spencer and I have been pretty much convalescing and sleeping for 48 hours straight now, so we finally have the energy back to talk about it, and it's been wild, man. Like that last week, the last week leading up to it, the finals. I mean, absolute insane energy all weekend.
It was just a lot of fun.
I mean, it was nuts, and actually paying people on the spot too. Just all the winners, it hyped them up so much more, you know?
Yeah, it was a lot cooler just to get, instead of getting a medal at the end around your neck, you actually got paid right there on the spot.
Yeah.
So it felt like you guys were actually getting a full experience, you know? You weren't getting just shorted on anything, which was pretty cool.
And man, the commentary this last weekend, having Sean and Ryan,
yeah,
and Greg was awesome.
Guy's so funny on
the
mic,
dude.
I
Johnny
love
Jiu-Jitsu.
Johnny Jiu-Jitsu pulling up.
We got to get Johnny out here one day to
for sure.
be on this with us. I mean, Guy too.
Oh yeah, dude. I have so many people. I mean, we'll talk about that at the
Yeah,
end. But
yeah,
we have a lot
getting ahead of
people
myself
that we
here.
want to talk about what we want to add to the podcast guest roster, because we have a lot of people in Atlanta that are pretty cool.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna be able to maybe let them kind of meet the public a little bit more. You know, that's got to be good for everybody's brand. But yeah, I think the biggest thing though, I mean, was just how high level the grappling itself was. Every match was good.
We had 5 champions so far. We had the women's assassins.
Right.
Tier 2, we had the breast milk barbarians.
Yes, we did.
And the tier 2 under was
Team Odyssey.
And
then tier 1 over
was Odyssey again.
as well. And then
the tier
1 under Satanic Hispanics.
The Satanic Hispanics bringing it home.
Sakura, 10th Planet, Henzo Gracie, South Carolina Abomination, and the Frankenstein team.
Man.
But it worked, though. It worked.
Yeah, wait. You're talking about 8 Satanic Hispanics?
Yeah.
Oh, they're from South Carolina?
Well, the little guy is.
Oh, wow.
At least I'm 99% sure.
Oh, wow.
I could be making that up entirely, but I'm pretty sure somebody at some point told me.
I mean, you had to get the 130 guy pound from somewhere, dude. So they had to pull him up from the woodwork.
To be fair, I thought I remembered it being him that told me that, and apparently he doesn't speak English. So so take what I say on that subject with a little bit of a grain of salt.
Yeah, I mean, so the Satanic Hispanics were undefeated the whole season. Odyssey was undefeated the whole season.
Yeah, I mean they were very good, and a lot of teams played them close. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't
It
like
was really, really close.
it wasn't like they just waltzed through or got by unscathed. Like there was a lot of adversity. You know, like their teams did show a lot of grit because at a certain point, you know, like everyone kind of was like, all right, we kind of know who's pulling ahead of the pack, but fuck them. You know, like let's get back in the lab. Let's like refine our strategy.
Yeah,
Let's
shout out
study.
to Superfly. Superfly came out every week and looked so good.
Oh man, I mean, I know we've harped on this before, but Jake and Daniel just taking that personal interest and being like, look, guys, there's tape of these guys. Like, we've studied it. Let's work on these strategies. You know, like, that's such a unique development.
Dude, I was walking
opportunity.
around like after, like in between matches, and I would see people that were just competing were like immediately going onto the YouTube stream and rewatching their matches, like right then and there.
Yeah. Yeah. And
that's so cool.
people took it super seriously, you know, like, we wanted like levity, we wanted it to be fun, we wanted it to be like lighthearted, you know, so like there wasn't a ton of pressure or negativity or, you know, any of the other pitfalls that come with that kind of thing. And like, man, it's just been awesome to see, like, you know, even though that atmosphere stayed, that people took it really seriously and was able to like dive in head first and really dedicate a lot of time and effort, but they didn't stop having fun.
Yeah,
you know?
everyone really liked it. I felt like it. Like everyone was saying, like this was like the most fun competition like they've done in a while. Like everyone got exposure across the board. We have so many people that are blowing up on Instagram from their clips and everything, which is so cool to see. Like you have like Chris Schwarting, who's gained like 50, like I think a third of his followers have came from this event.
I mean,
which
probably
is crazy.
Least.
So I mean, it's not like a whole crazy amount, but like we're slowly but surely like seeing these people like who deserve to be shown and have a following of like in the jiu-jitsu community, like finally getting that love.
Well, you know, it's cool to see that, like, yeah, there are opportunities being created here. We are, even if it's just in a minor way, like a catalyst for new things happening in the community. You know, like that was really the goal here, was just to get a little momentum that started pushing things forward. And even if, you know, it's just a slow roll, it's progress. And that's what's going on right now, is the Atlanta scene just got a little bit better, you know, like more people just got a little bit bigger of a platform. Some, you know, some voices just got a little louder. There was a little bit more exposure. There's more things going on. There's people from not even, you know, outside the state, but outside the country who have been watching this. And, you know, like that's not nothing. That's pretty
there's
cool.
people in Connecticut that have been watching. I have people in Arkansas that have reached out to us. We have a team in Poland still. Shout out to that team in Poland.
Yeah, we got that other promotion in Chicago that wants to,
we have that Chicago promotion, Squads Grappling, that we're looking to do some stuff with here pretty shortly.
Yeah, like it's been a pretty big footprint. You know, like we're already over 1,000 followers on Instagram.
We just hit 1,000 today. Shout out everyone.
Yeah, which is crazy considering like a month or two ago we had 0.
Have that sick video with Simeo coming out at the end of this week.
Oh, the one you just made went pretty hard too.
Yeah, I was just doing a little something. But
just a little
Simeo's
something.
Simeo's gonna put something together, man.
No, Simeo's gonna throw down. He's not only is he like just a super nice guy, but he's very, very talented. Like, he's an interesting dude.
Dude, he's so cool. I've been talking with him for a while, dude. He's a really like salty there.
He's
really
just
guy.
He's himself, dude.
Yeah,
like he's
really
his own man, and that's how you know he's probably like a really good creative genius.
If you guys aren't, follow him on Instagram, CEIMO, before he blows up, because his stuff is awesome. Everything that he does is sick. So reach out to him early before like his account just absolutely blows up.
But man, what I got to talk about this though. What about the Breast Milk Barbarians and that ATT team in the finals?
That was a good match.
Man, that was insane. Like,
I didn't know Trayshawn Gore was pulling up, and I didn't know like that was Trayshawn Gore, and then like it was Trayshawn Gore.
Yeah, that was. Oh. I was talking to Spencer. It was like, okay, if somebody had like Conor McGregor on their roster, I wouldn't assume like, you know, he was a little Irishman was gonna come waltzing in. I think it was just some dude who happened to also be named So
yeah, it was pretty cool to
so
see.
shout out to everybody just being like, yeah, there's a UFC fighter out there. Let's not even complain about it. Let's go fight him.
Shout out Adrian Berg, full-time doctor, went the distance with him. Like, Adrian is like a really good grappler. Like, he's an insane wrestler. So to see him go the distance against a UFC fighter like that was so cool.
Superfly is just throwing out hobbyist like purple belt grapplers who are like, yeah, we're working tomorrow, and they're like, yeah, let's go, like challenge PGF veterans like Kevin Burig, Steven Dana, like let's go out there. And
Superfly has such good people who just like train there and just have like full-time jobs and don't do like training full-time and are just like so good at grappling.
I've rolled with Nick Maka multiple times, and it's terrifying every time.
Crazy.
He's such a beast. Such a beast.
Yeah, that was fun to watch all around, honestly. I can't wait to see them in the next seasons. They're going to do so good.
But Trey,
shout out to Max. He just went down to Florida, back down to college, but he was a lot of fun to watch, too.
Oh, yeah. No, Max was a spark plug out there, man. And that Trey-Kevin match, that was insane, too. Like, how often do you see UFC fighter
Kevin was, like, doing really good in all of his matches. He was getting a tap pretty fast against everybody. And then he went against Trayshawn and went the full distance. And that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, man. Like, that was some pretty high-level grappling.
Because I don't think Trayshawn's probably used to somebody like Kevin, who's like a taller build.
Well, I don't think either of them really knew who the other was.
Yeah,
like I don't think Kevin realized he was grappling against a UFC
Trayshawn,
fighter.
and Trayshawn didn't realize he was grappling against Kevin.
Yeah, and he had no idea who Kevin was until afterwards, and he was like, "Holy shit, you guys let me go against him." But no, it was awesome to see too, because Trayshawn had a lot of fun, and he's been in contact with us since, and he wants to come back out for future events. So
which
hoping,
is so cool.
Yeah, hoping maybe he even has like connections, so we can set up opportunities for like up and coming UFC fighters to take on some pretty big name Atlanta grapplers. That
like
could
Sean
be.
O'Malley going and doing that jiu-jitsu competition a couple years ago. Like that's one of his most viral clips. So like you can definitely blow up just from even going outside of your normal sport and just showcasing how good you are at the other sides of MMA.
Well, yeah, I mean it's just a win-win across the board. And again, it's it just deepen like it enriches the community. Like more bonds got created, far more bonds got created than were tested throughout this whole thing.
It was really cool to see everyone reach out and like their support with everything and how much they appreciated what we were doing with everything. It was
like
cool.
we just not even for ourselves, but we just created so many new friendships out of this.
I know.
And that wasn't really something I expected, but I was hoping for. So it was awesome that it came to fruition.
Mm-hmm. It was really cool. Like I think my personal account on Instagram has gained like insane, like over 100 followers. But I have people that are DMing me constantly, just like thanking me, and like I'm just having so many conversations with people about the whole thing. And so it's just cool to see like everyone.
Well, I gotta be honest, everybody. Like I don't think it's much of a mystery. For the last few weeks, I have absolutely hated my life. Like I've been so miserable, so burned out. So, because not just this, although this was a Herculean effort to put together and keep together, but Spencer and I both had a lot of like very trying things going on in our personal lives throughout all of this too. So this became like even more of a slog that just like wouldn't end. And I thought, like by the end of it, I was gonna have all these really negative feelings and just be so tired and like I'm over everything. But the positivity and the energy and the reactions we're getting and seeing how this last weekend played out and how this whole event played out and what it meant to so many people. Like, man, I don't feel anything except for just like happiness and positivity. And like, I'm excited to do the next one.
Well, we have so many gyms here in Georgia, and there are so many cool athletes that are so athletic and can put on such a good show that deserve to be displayed.
Here's the thing about pro jiu-jitsu versus amateur jiu-jitsu is like, it's still a very like underground kind of sport that's in its infancy. So there's not like a scouting infrastructure. There's not really a pipeline for a lot of athletes to like know how to go from point A to point B and becoming
and they're
a
so
pro.
Focused on training. Why would you work on trying to do that as well?
It's the luck of the draw. So like
you're just gonna do what's normal. You're just gonna do like the normal thing that everyone else is doing, like a Naga or a new breed.
Well, there's that's exactly the point. Is there's like probably thousands of people out there who are just as good or have the potential to be just as good as guys at ADCC or CJI this
But they
weekend.
just don't have the potential to get up because no one knows about
Exactly.
them.
They just haven't had the opportunities to like have that snap into focus for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that like this maybe becomes a catalyst for futures like that too.
And I think it's going to cause people to train at a lot higher pace at their gyms and get better a lot faster because they're going to be able to compete at something a lot regularly, and everyone's going to be on the same page. So like this whole scene is just going to blow up.
Well, I think the competition's going to I think it's really going to ramp up. I think people are going to train a lot harder because of the numbers we've been putting up with our viewership, you know, like getting almost 1,000 people watching any individual.
Yeah, I think we had 1,000 unique. It was like 889, I think, unique viewers during that stream.
Yeah, and then like, you know, between Instagram and all like the people there live, like I mean, you're probably performing for a few thousand people, you know? So like at first, we didn't know that we would have that kind of a footprint.
Yeah.
So we didn't know to tell people like you know, I figured maybe like a couple dozen people might be watching. But like now that people know how large the audience is for what we're putting on, I feel like that's just going to ramp up the intensity even more.
And way more people are just going to end up tuning in because I think like the concurrent viewer, it like peaked around like 80 is what we were at.
Right.
So once that gets up to 1,000 people, and then they have thousands and thousands of people that are actually watching them. And since it's the team aspect, it's so much easier to get behind a whole team instead of like just an individual of the sport, because an individual has to do so much self-marketing. Whereas a team aspect, you can bring in so much different stuff.
Well, teams can also name themselves funny things.
Like breast milk
yeah, or
barbarians,
like
just satanic Hispanics.
or be like Bad Apple and have like those sick ass rash guards or like
Exactly.
Superfly. You can find a way to make a team likable more so than a person, because also like
Well,
people have personality flaws.
And
People have egos.
Jiu-Jitsu's so individualized. So it takes away that when you have the team aspect. Like I remember somebody was talking to me a couple weeks ago and they were like, dude, I was like in the middle of the match and I was like I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing, and I would have kept doing it and gotten disqualified, but I didn't want to because I had my team that was dependent on me at least going the distance in this match.
Yeah.
So it just changes that whole aspect. Like you really are not like doing something for yourself anymore. Like you're just doing something for your team. Unless you're Ish and you just do a backflip to start off the mat and just
You
pull
know
back
what
guard.
though, man? Like
he had to full send he didn't full send the backflip. He was so close.
I'm gonna get a little bit ahead of myself here, but like at the end of the day, the big thing with this, like the biggest prize of all wasn't my share of $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever dollars. The biggest prize is there's the potential for me to go viral here.
Yeah, like Stephen
And-
Dana has,
And he tried. And you know?
Stephen Dana has his clip has over 100,000 views now.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like
man.
100,000 people have seen this corkscrew now.
Yeah,
But
Steven-
also that evaded everybody in the Atlanta submission series from putting their foot on the hip against anybody because nobody wanted to get clipped, which was hilarious.
Yeah, nobody wanted to eat a
Every-
lens lock.
Everyone was hiding their feet the rest of the time.
Yeah, it was, I mean, like that's incredible, you know? Like I mean, Steven is obviously a fairly prolific grappler in his own right already, but I mean, that can't be bad for his brand or his stock or, you know, the opportunities that present themselves for him if he wants to keep like
Well, and that's going to open up. People are going to see that clip and they're going to be like, oh, this guy hit an exciting clip in a match. That would be fun to have him on my card. I should reach out to him and get him on my card for the next one. So now like they have another avenue to get exposure instead of them just posting their IBJJF still camera clip.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it, honestly. And I mean, there's a lot of other athletes too. Like, I mean, this Satanic Hispanics, Mitchell Navarro.
Yeah, with their interview. Their interview was hilarious with Ernesto.
Mitchell went fought a black belt at the Toro Cup in North Carolina Saturday.
And then pulled up Sunday.
I played him close, lost a tough match, pulled up Sunday, ran through like multiple guys. Just really insane performance, even though he banged up his arm. Like, I mean, that's incredible, you know? And like his team, they had like the catchy name, the funny gimmick. They had Aiden there, which was awesome. Like, so I mean, that's got to be a lot of exposure. Like, I mean, I know I've beaten this dead horse of an anecdote to death already, but like the fact that my girlfriend's mom knows who the Satanic Hispanics are and have been like watching them and talking
It's
to
so
us.
funny.
And
She tunes in for the Satanic Hispanic match.
she's
It's so funny.
she's like in Madison, Georgia, like in historic downtown, like Southern Belle, Madison, Georgia, where you're like surprised they have electricity.
It's so funny.
And she's like, like kick his ass, Mitchell. It's just incredible.
It's
man.
so funny.
So like we're bringing this sport to people who would never otherwise get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with the team aspect. Again, like, she probably would have liked watching Mitchell individually, and now she probably will watch Mitchell individually. But because it was a team aspect where she was really hooked on the Satanic Hispanics and all of those guys that were on there, it just made it so much better to see them do better in the end. It was so cool.
And man, like I can talk about them as a monolith because like it doesn't matter which team I say this about, it applies. Like, I mean, Odyssey was just incredible the entire time too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they
Campbell
really
hitting clip after clip after clip. It was incredible. His
Well,
Instagram's blowing up too.
What's
right
so
now.
impressive about all of their players is their level of discipline. Those guys have an A game. They get out there. They initiate, like, at all costs, they initiate their A game and they stick to it. And if they lose it, they get back to a place where they can reinitiate.
I noticed that.
They don't try and start anything new. They don't try and scramble. They don't try and figure anything out on the fly. That discipline was really something that I was surprised didn't hinder them at all. I thought that might take away from opportunities, but it didn't. It actually made it way easier for them to outlast their opponents.
Who was your favorite grappler in each tier and division?
Okay.
So tier 2 over. Who was your favorite? On the spot.
Tier 2 over, favorite athlete in the whole division. I mean, I think it's a tie, man. Like, Kevin Burig and Steven Dana both were incredible to watch.
Dude, mine's Nasty Nate. Dude, he was so fun to watch, bro.
He's top 5 for sure.
Nate Williams, dude, he was so fun to watch. I like
Nate-
watching him.
Nate was top 5.
But
easy.
also, I can't remember his name, but the guy with the beard at Superfly that hit the Go-Go Plata and all of that, he was also one of my personal favorites to watch. So they were my top
man,
2.
he was nuts too.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. I can't remember your name right now.
Yeah,
off the top
don't
of my
worry.
head.
We'll look it up and we'll tag you.
Yeah, but he was so fun to watch. I loved watching in the under division for that. My favorite was probably Chris.
Yeah,
just
Chris
because he was
Schwarting,
he was a new blue belt that came in there and just like surprised all of us
It was
that first
insane.
weekend. The slam was not cool, but in that
you get
case,
caught up in the heat of the moment. It wasn't malicious.
but my second favorite player was Josh, who came in there in the advanced division as well.
Yeah,
and was throwing up triangles left and right, like
very
crazy.
technical, very
So
technical.
those were my
leg lock
two
defense.
Just
too.
because they were blue belts in the advanced division and were tapping people, I just thought that was really cool to see.
So
like, they were just like very advanced blue belts.
Because you took my 2 answers, I got to throw out who I thought was probably the third most exciting athlete to watch, which I was shocked he didn't get a little bit more love from all that, was Dante.
Oh, dude, Dante
Man, Dante
was
was
so
a
fun to
brick
watch.
shithouse the entire
Dude,
time.
I think he's gonna be a dark horse going forward because like your team didn't do all that great. Like you guys like kind of went the distance everywhere.
Okay, hold on. I was going to talk about this during the lessons I've learned, but that's very true, but that's all my fault. Like,
No, it's not your fault.
dude,
There's 4 people on a team. That's why that's the whole team aspect, man. You can't blame it all on yourself.
I grossly overestimated how much time I would have in my life through this, and I thought I would be able to manage my team.
I told you.
I thought I'd be able to train.
I told you.
Dude, that was the worst jiu-jitsu I've ever done in my entire Spencer and I, we haven't been sleeping, we've been malnourished, we've been stressed to the point of delirium for the last few months. I've been sick for the last week because I can't get any rest.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but we're good now. I had such great sleep last night. It was amazing.
Yeah, dude, that was the worst. And every time there was anything going on, my team would be the last to know because I'd be like, "Oh shit, I'm a captain. I've got to go tell
yeah. You're like, oh, I also have to deal with my team.
Yeah, I did them a disservice the entire way through, and they did great, not with me, but in spite of me, which
Yeah.
was a bummer for me because I'm like, that was another layer of frustration to this
Yeah.
for me, as I felt like I was letting my team down every week.
That's all good. I don't think you really were. I think you put on a good performance every single time. Like it's not like
That second weekend was definitely when I felt like the best out of all the weekends. And that one was, I think, my strongest performance, where I actually made Brady sweat a little bit to catch me.
Brady's also really good.
Yeah,
He's
Brady's
tabbed
a
black
beast.
belts in competition.
Yeah,
so like,
Brady's an absolute beast. So like, I don't. That's like a feather in my cap as far as I'm concerned.
I
Not
was
a,
say that's what was crazy because like you went like everybody was so good like across the board. Like there were such good grapplers everywhere.
man.
Like
Can't.
my favorite, like the Misfits team. Here, wait, let's play our AI Misfits song really quick.
Oh, this is a banger.
Oh, wait,
Outcast on the map, we're here to prove
it's a banger.
no one's got our back, nothing left to lose.
It's like 21 Pilots and Taylor Swift collab, but AI.
Agents here to make 'em pay. We don't fit the mold, we don't walk the line. United by our fire, ready to shine. We're the misfits, breaking all the chains free.
Absolute banger.
Dude, why does it go so hard for
It has
no reason?
business going this hard.
I just want everyone to know I wrote this song in about 20 minutes with AI,
This song
ChatGPT,
is
and then put
huge
into
in
a
Poland.
song.
I guarantee you.
This is a banger in Poland, bro.
That MMA gym is blasting this song everywhere they go.
We're the underdogs, but don't count us out. In the cage or on the floor, we'll make you shout.
All right, dude, it's so funny, dude. Dude, AI is crazy. You
Man,
can make such cool stuff. Like that's crazy that we were able to make an individualized song just for that team so fast.
yeah, dude,
You can do such cool stuff with that.
I love it. All right, favorite athlete, intermediate,
Ooh,
over, go.
intermediate over. Let me think. Michael Kravetsky.
No, man. Oh wait, no, that is right. Yeah, Michael was the big boys.
Yep. Michael and Rush.
Rush. I mean, Rush is one of the obvious choices too. Like,
Yeah.
super inspirational. That dude had a lot going on.
I just liked Michael because he's so big and he's so tall.
and so
and
athletic
He plays guard and was heel
and
hooking
is
people.
flexible. Like
That's
was inverting.
so scary, bro.
Dude, you should not be that size and be able to move like that. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that's
terrifying,
crazy.
dude. That is absolutely terrifying. I think James too, Thor from the Bad Apple.
James was a lot of fun.
Man, James was incredible the entire. I mean, that dude is terrifying.
He's a large person.
I
I think we introduced the Bad Apple guys to a lot of the leg lock games that is up here in Atlanta.
was gonna say
I
honestly,
wonder if that changed their like training style down there at all.
it might, because I think they're very big on MMA. Like I think that's their primary focus.
And dude, if this starts bleeding over into into MMA a lot, where you're gonna see a lot more heel hooks and stuff, it's probably a good thing to get exposed to it like this in
Yeah.
like a jiu-jitsu environment,
so
where
I
it's
think
not all just head
Yeah.
head and arm triangles the entire time.
Well, I think they're probably behind the curve on the new meta a little bit, because obviously they're operating under a different set of priorities. But I do think this might factor into how they run BJJ now, especially since
I
they
hate these shorts.
especially since they got out there and like they did a lot of really good stuff to shut down a lot of Odyssey's offense, but Odyssey was just able to weather the storm every time. So those guys have the potential to get back to the lab and like come up with a new strategy and try and stick to it. And then because I think they didn't really, they were just like, yeah, let's get out there and have fun. I don't think they really like trained specifically for this or anything.
No.
And like they didn't have like a game plan that, so you could tell like there was a little bit of a difference in the mentality behind it, the approach that the teams took. But I mean, it was still really impressive to watch like a team that was like treating it like a beer league go out there and like give a team.
Dude, they
that
trained so hard for this too. It was crazy to see how like in shape they all were for all this.
Oh,
like,
man.
dude, they all came out looking so cut. Like it's so scary to see.
Oh, dude, and what about their like 155-pounder who?
Yeah,
went out
that guy
there?
that came out the last weekend. That guy was awesome.
Yeah.
He's an MMA fighter as well.
Yeah, that kid's an animal, dude. That was awesome.
He was a lot of fun to watch as well. And then tier 1 under.
Oh man, I mean,
I have
Aiden was a blast.
Aiden Copeland.
Both Aidens. Actually.
I'm about to say my favorite
both
is
Aidens.
my favorite is Aiden from Superfly.
That was who I originally meant, but Aiden Copeland was also
and then my other favorite is the other guy, just because of the heel, because both of them heel hooked people who had at least 40, 50 pounds on them in competition, which was crazy to me. And
I
then,
mean, Beto with the what was straight ankle? Is that what he?
Yeah, Beto with the straight ankle.
That was one of my
Josh.
favorite moments in the entire.
I think that was everyone's favorite moment, honestly.
That was the hardest I've seen the crowd go.
Yeah, that was the biggest pop I think we got all season was Beto's straight ankle.
What a G, man.
Okay, let's go top moments from each weekend. So that was probably
that was one
weekend.
Unanimous.
Weekend 2 was probably I think that was the Go-Go Plata.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And then Max also hit the Eminari roll and got the hidden move of the day, so that was pretty cool.
Josh making his like big first debut out there.
Oh yeah, Josh did really good.
And surprising everybody.
Tapped 2 people.
Josh weathering the slam to come back and like be, like he gave Chris all he could handle after that.
Who else? Then the next weekend would be
the finals. Oh wait, well actually, what about the women's?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the women's.
The entirety of the women's bracket.
They were so good. Jaden, Izzy, I think Isabel, maybe.
Yeah.
Catherine.
Yeah, they were all insane. Lauren, Yadetsi, Kirsten, all insane. Kay, Yin, and Elizabeth, just monsters.
Dude, I can't wait to see how big the girls' division is going to be next time.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for some like girl super fights in the fall.
And like we'll have like some stats we'll be able to probably get out. Probably if I decide to go back and like rewatch them, I can get like who has taps and everything, and like we can go that for the next season and stuff, so we can get like some cool data going.
Oh,
like
data.
Who has money?
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
How much money every team's made going forward? Who's the richest and who's made the most money off of us?
What was your favorite moment of the finals?
Dude, I loved it when that Superfly guy tapped that guy from Ice Spice Bandits. The guy with the mustache.
I think mine had to be the Kevin Trey match.
Oh, Kevin Trey match. Man, it was just it was cool because it happened, but it went the full distance, and I would have loved to see some more action, like because it was some cool action.
Oh, I don't know, man. They were pretty physical with it.
I guess what I'm saying by action, I mean like I just wanted a submission.
You wanted to see a submission out of it?
I just wanted a submission. I just wanted to because I wanted to see who was the winner. Like, is the UFC the winner or is Jiu-Jitsu the winner? You know.
I kind of like that they left it ambiguous, like
it's
a cliffhanger at the end of season 1.
Because now it's even more ambiguous.
Now
bro.
we'll have to get more UFC fighters for season 2.
I mean,
and if we have to, we have to. What's next on the docket, man?
Let's see. Yeah, I'm showing like my entire thighs. This is ridiculous. We got
a little something for the ladies.
All right, we did the personal favorite grapplers and teams, and we already did that. Talk about the final 2 days. We did that. When the next event is gonna be?
Okay, so Super Fright Night. We're I mean, I know we've already talked about this, but just a little bit of a reminder, I guess, never hurts. Spencer and I are looking at fall Super Fight Night, probably that weekend, like November 2nd. Boom. Right after Halloween.
That was so loud.
Yeah, that was really loud. I felt like a professional when I didn't jump just now. No, and we're going to start like kind of seeing what that looks like. But for those of you out there who already know, like, I definitely want to be on this card. I definitely want to super fight. I definitely want to be involved. Like, start, maybe nudge, letting us know a little bit so we, have people to start reaching out to.
We're definitely going to have a lot of teams going to. We're going to get, like, I'm sure the Misfits are going to want to team back up again, get the gang back together.
Yeah, get the squad back together. Yeah, we want to do, like, we will be doing, I think, some individual, like, I think we'll be doing an under 160 cash bracket, like super fight style.
Let us know in the comments what you guys want to see for that.
But I think everything else is probably going to be like team super fights. Like we may have 1 or 2 individual super fights, just if they're really interesting.
Yeah.
But
I think because like team super fights can be easy to orchestrate as well, especially if we just have like a 4-man division and we just do it in one day. We can easily knock out like 2 divisions really quick.
Yeah, so that's going to be coming soon. Obviously, if you're interested in sponsoring, This won't be one of those things where everyone who some of these are just going to be like super fights, like exhibition matches where there's nothing at stake other than pride and exposure. But we do want to make like a cash bracket. We want to maybe do like some pro quartet super fights where there's like some money at stake. So, we are looking for sponsors. Obviously, these things aren't free to put on. Like, we're going to have to pay for mats. We're probably going to have to, like, pay the venue. We've got to get insurance again. So, there will be expenses that we don't want to pass along to the participants this time. So, we'll be reaching out to sponsors to kind of bridge that gap for us.
Yeah, Game Day Men's Health. Shout out game. Like, we might as well shout out all the sponsors really quick. Let's go. We got shout out Games Day Men's Health first of all because Casey and them were awesome over there. Really helped us put on a really cool event.
Game Day Buckhead is awesome. I've been a client of theirs for like 3 or 4 weeks now. I mean, I do feel a difference already.
Crazy.
Dude, by this fall super fight night, bro, I'm going to be like eating nails for breakfast. Like, I pity the fool who steps into the under 160 bracket with me.
We got I can't remember his name, but the auto detailing, hit him up, Hinton, I think his name is. Yeah, Hinton Auto Detailing, there it is. Hit him up on Instagram. He can get your car looking real good. We got Georgia Hempco. Shout out Georgia Hempco, dude. Fucking love Joe.
Man, you guys were so much fun to have at the event, too.
Dude, Joe's the coolest. All the staff was so cool.
All the staff, super cool. Go see them. They've got a bunch of locations. My favorite one's up in Woodstock.
Main one's in Sandy Springs,
Roswell. Springs. Yeah, no, tons of CBD, like good for sports medicine, stuff like that. Obviously, they have more recreational products for those of you who imbibe. Definitely go hit them up if any of those things
and use our promo codes as well.
Yes, promo code ASS.
And then we have Green Summit Co. We got Mitchell.
The man is a champion at everything, jiu-jitsu and remodeling stuff. So if your house,
Morgan and I are looking right now. So I've already talked to Mitchell.
Have you?
Yeah. So we're about to get working with Mitchell here pretty shortly.
Yeah. So holler at your boy.
Talk to Mitchell. I'm not kidding. He's gonna get you the best deals, and he's gonna give you the best quality work.
And he's got the best front headlock game. So
yeah, dude. If you get a north-south choke with him, you're done.
Yeah.
So don't do anything that pisses him off because he will take you down and get you a north-south somehow. We got Pita Mediterranean Street Food. That's my gang.
Oh,
follow both
the
accounts.
New
So you guys get
Philly.
10%.
The new guys, go get a new Philly
and get Philly's crazy
and get Greek fries with it. That goes so hard.
It's so good. It's so good. I've been eating it every single day. It's the best thing in the world. Momoria Ramen. Oh, I gotta post that reel, dude. We went and got such good food from them, and Curtis and I are gonna show you how good it was too. Dude, it was insane. Johnny does not play.
No, man, it goes so hard. And the package, oh man, the black belt on the
yeah, it's
so
awesome.
Cool. Go check it out.
Yeah, Johnny's awesome. If you follow our account and their account, you get 10% off your order. It's in the Marietta Square Market. Johnny's the best. Let Johnny know that you were there. He's really cool. He's a purple belt, dude. He's one of the best people in the community.
Yeah,
honestly.
Super nice guy.
Super cool guy. We got Nation Athletic, ATLSS15 at checkout. If you guys want any more rash guards,
hit Mark up.
Yep. You guys got some cool rash guards, and it's a local Atlanta brand, so might as well support Atlanta as much as possible. Dr. Ninja Cairo.
Ooh, Dr.
Pete, dude. Dr. Pete is the man.
Man,
dude.
He's got a mat set up in his office so he can do a private lesson. He can jack you up, and then he can fix you afterwards.
Yeah, so you can pay for a private, and then he can fix you after. It's the best. It's literally, honestly, a genius business.
Yeah, go see him. Like
he's a second-degree black belt.
He's a black belt.
If you get injured during the event, and you explain what happens, he'll be able to help you.
And you don't have to pantomime it for somebody who has no idea what you're talking about. You can be like, "Oh yeah, no, we entered cross ashi, crank my heel." Okay, say no more. Instead of, well, you see, he inverted himself and rolled over my leg, and then I was able to not move. So save yourself some trouble.
Yeah, dude, he's awesome. He's so cool too. His entire office is super nice too. Dude, check him out. He's awesome. Ninja Cairo on Instagram, Hybrid Sport and Spine. And then we got Bold Creative Design by Sam. Any t-shirts
the
you guys
man
need,
who
hit
made
up
the
Sam.
shirts.
The shirts are awesome.
Yeah,
They came
the
out really
shirts.
good.
The shirts go so hard.
And finally, Cozy Coop, man.
Ooh, dude, I'm getting hungry just talking
I know.
about
Yeah,
it.
I'm actually thinking we should go over. Should we go? Actually, I think we should end the podcast in a little bit and go over there.
We might have to make a Cozy Coop detour. Ricky, if you're listening to this, man, keep up the good work. That chicken is
off
insane,
the chain,
man.
bro. It's so good. All right, let's see here. All right, we got changes we want to make and things we're going to implement.
Okay, so changes we want to make. Obviously, this was a very, very successful first season, but it wasn't perfect. And, I think Spencer and I did a pretty good job of being transparent about the fact that, like, he and I are both new at this. We've never put on jiu-jitsu events before. We've never been promoters before. This was something that we basically got encouraged to do by the community under the guise of, like, well, as long as you guys are transparent about that, I think everybody's going to be pretty cool about it. And, everybody was. But
there were some things we definitely could have done better.
But we tried to do a brand new format. We tried to do a relatively unique rule set. So anytime you try and implement something brand new, especially when you're inexperienced at implementing things, period, it's going to get a little messy.
And there's, just in the basis of it just being a startup business, startups alone are so hard, dude. Like, so many of them fail initially. So going into a place that already has very well-established tournaments and rule sets and everything else, bringing in something completely new to a business standpoint and a new rule set, it was just a lot that we didn't anticipate. So, and I think we realize that now.
Yeah, and obviously, anytime there's a new rule set, there are going to be like unforeseen scenarios where gray areas present themselves,
and especially with it being the long weekend, there was things that just
and so when loopholes open up, like you have to do the community a service and close them. So unfortunately, we had to make some spur of the moment rulings that if we'd have had more time or had put more deliberate thought into thinking through, we could have avoided, but at least now we know now.
We treated season 1, like a pilot season.
Yeah.
So I think people realize that, like...
And most people had very reasonable expectations about that, too, which helps.
I think that's why I think that helped when we went out and talked with everybody.
Yeah.
Because we were just very transparent with everybody. Like, all the coaches were like, guys, listen, like, we really don't know. Like, we think this is a huge hole in the market. I think this is something really cool we can do for everybody. But, like, we really just don't have a lot of experience with this and really don't even know what could happen of this. So, like, there's so many variables that go into this that we just have to, like, figure out how to go with on the way.
Well, and also, too, another area of friction is that the fewer people you have register, the harder it becomes to division people appropriately without making divisions so niche or so small that they can't really
I think
happen.
next event easily we're going to have 150 plus people sign up. This one we had 70, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And I think we'll easily be able to double that because we weren't able to get full teams out of a lot of gyms. Like, they just sent a couple of people. But, dude, the amount of people that have reached out to us individually, like, trying to get on, like, there's going to be a whole bunch of teams coming forward.
Well, yeah, and obviously when you have a much larger applicant pool, you have the ability to make divisions that are a lot more balanced.
It's harder to apply filters to a small amount.
Yes.
It's easy to apply filters to a large data pool.
So, yeah, like this first go around, there were, like, compromises you had to make on that front. But I think with more exposure, that's going to become less of an issue. So I think, like, the real point here is, we've taken our first stumbles. We didn't fall flat on our face. And we know how to walk better than we did before.
Yeah, a couple things that, like, I think that, like, the alternate situation will definitely iron that out going forward, so then we can figure out. I think the best situation to figure that is we just have a team slot, people sign up, and then everyone that signs up at the beginning of the season, that's everybody on your team. And then however people you bring to theirs is who you bring that day, and then that's just what it is that day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a high school football team if you want to think of it like that almost.
Yeah, or we can make like instead of it be like 4 spots as a full team on league apps, we can make 6 spots. So you have to like pick, 2 alternates, and then you stick with those 2 alternates. Like
Yeah.
they're locked in. That can cut down. The way we saw it is like people were gonna see this more as like gym versus gym anyway. So like it's a long season. People sub out like okay, well Steve got to sub out somebody last weekend.
And
That guy got hurt.
We also
too.
want to encourage more teams instead of just one singular team from one gym. Like we want to encourage a lot of people to sign up.
Yeah.
So if we have, say, like you're allowed unlimited alternates, then we're only gonna have like 4 teams sign up in the whole thing. So then it's just not even worth it.
Yeah. So I mean, like that's a gray area. I think we've gotten a lot of clarification on.
Yeah.
But I think overall, like,
Dude, people love the wall.
yeah, man, we're not getting rid of the wall.
No, I think we play. I don't like the cage just because the cage isn't cool. Like I don't know, it's just
Done to death, you know.
It's just grimy. But I mean, it does give more than the wall, so that's why it's nice. And then like you do have the dangers with the wall where like you're not movable.
Oh, that's why we
But,
got Rick.
Yeah, and we have Rick, the best ref in ATL, so it doesn't
Man,
matter.
Rick
Shout
holding
out
it
ATL
down.
_Rick _James, man. I cannot shout him out enough, dude. He is awesome.
No, that dude is a G.
He's a gift to this jiu-jitsu community, honestly. He is a really cool guy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. But what else do we want to change? What other rules? What other things?
I think for now, that's probably about.
It's hard because like I've heard people say that they love the 3 weeks and actually want it to be longer.
Ooh, no, not for my sanity. I couldn't do it.
I know. But it would be cool if we were able to figure out how to do that. So maybe we can try another 3 weeks. I don't know though. 2 week I think would be a lot better.
No, I say I say we do 2 weeks next. Because we also got a lot of distinct feedback in the
Yeah.
opposite.
That's what's hard because we had people that were like, "This is way too long." This is like, but it's just like I think the
So-
people that like and go to open mats on weekly basis and like train a lot love
Well,
the season aspect.
Here's how I look at it. People won't refuse to sign up for something shorter than they want it to be.
Yeah,
People will refuse to sign up
for something longer.
for something longer. So you're gonna exclude
All they do
more
is
people.
jujitsu, anyways. What do these guys do?
Man, that's a good question.
Dude, I go to work, I go to jujitsu, I go home. I'm too sore to move. You don't do anything else. You work, you train, you sleep. That's it.
So I guess the moral of the story here is you guys need to keep making your voices heard if you have distinct or strong opinions one way or the other. Because right now Spencer and I are just sort of taking the census of the community.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks would be a lot easier for Curtis and I. 3 weeks would be a lot, but doable. 4 weeks, I'd kill myself.
I don't think I could do it.
I wouldn't
dude.
kill myself.
I don't think I could do it.
But
That was if I'd had to do one more week of this, bro. I would have you'd have had to check me into like a mental institution.
well, I think if we have more rules and guidelines and guardrails set, maybe
it'll be easier
it
in the
would
future.
probably run itself. So then it wouldn't be an issue. The only issue is just us being there all the time. Like it's hard. Like I have my wedding coming up in a couple weeks. I have like other things that we're traveling for. Like we're opening restaurants left and right. So it's like
Yeah.
it's hard to make individualized time for just this while we're also not making any money on it. So and then once we start making money on it and we can start doing more stuff with it, then we can make it longer. But until then we just got to keep it to where it's manageable for our schedules and work schedules.
Yeah, everybody. There was like this misconception that like Spencer and I were, I don't know, like profiting off of it. That definitely isn't the case. But I assure you that
We will in the
we
future.
aren't saints either. Like if we keep doing this, it will be to make money, and if we don't make money off of it, eventually we will stop doing it.
Otherwise, we are not good business.
Yeah.
So we will make money, but this first season we definitely did not make money.
Yeah, we just didn't care that we didn't.
Yeah. But on that, anything else?
What else was on the docket?
That's it. That's the docket right there.
Let me see. Oh, the future. Okay, so we got.
Oh yeah, future guests that we want to get on.
Okay, so a couple of things. Spencer and I, obviously, we're churning out some content. We're building our YouTube channel. We're going to be
Working with
doing
Semio.
We're going to be
Wink,
doing
wink.
weekly or bi-weekly, I don't know, whatever, podcast type episodes.
Definitely an episode coming out every week. We're going to figure out which day we like the most. Right now, I like Monday the most, but it's hardest with the schedules to post. So
yeah, we'll figure it out.
So, because we're already recording this on Tuesday. So,
But yeah, Spencer and I are gonna be like, some episodes will be about jiu-jitsu. We'll have like jiu-jitsu guests. Some episodes will just be random bullshit. Like I'll talk about conspiracy theories or
I really want to get into my toothpaste conspiracy theories.
murderers or like serial killers. My top 10 favorite cults. Who knows? Who knows what we'll do? But like we might have random guests on for that too, like just interesting people.
And moving forward, we are probably going to have a new guest on almost every week, unless people want it to just be me and Curtis. But I doubt that because we're not that interesting.
I'd be sick of us already.
So already on the docket, we have Rick James as the best ref in Atlanta. We're going to go over all the rules and stuff with him and stuff he thinks that maybe we should implement in the future.
Yeah, his takeaways.
And his takeaways from the event.
We got a lot of the 10th Planet boys
Yeah, we're
planning on
gonna
coming
get
in.
Ryan Aiken. We're gonna get Kevin Burig on here. We're gonna get the guys at Odyssey on here, Campbell and Brady.
Johnny Jiu-Jitsu.
Johnny Jiu-Jitsu. We're gonna get Guy on here for sure. Felipe, Ernesto,
Yeah.
Paul, Sergio, all the guys we're gonna reach out to get you guys on here. So,
Yeah, we'll get some
'cause
interesting people.
I mean, these guys are just such cool people that like Paul and Sergio are full-time lawyers and are jiu-jitsu practitioners. Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to get that guy from Kennesaw on as well, Dakota, who's a professor.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Who was a professor in psychology at Kennesaw or philosophy, and then is also a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Lots of cool people we can have on here.
Yeah. We've also talked about potentially doing even like a little bit of a web series where every few weeks or like once a month, Spencer and I go drop in at like
Delanaga.
Yeah, like we go drop in at like a gym who was featured, or maybe they had just like one athlete. Not many people knew about him. So we want to go like
We're just gonna go start.
Coaches.
We're gonna do a lot of like IRL stuff. Like just go like in somewhere, train with people, do some stuff. Like maybe go like down to Columbus and train with the Bad Apple guys, and like do an eating contest at PETA. But we'll live stream it the whole time, so everyone's like with us, interacting with us the whole time.
Yeah,
I think Sunday or Saturday if you're down, we could do a live CJI reaction.
Oh man, I actually got some weekend plans this weekend.
Oh, you already do?
Yeah, man, that's the first weekend I've had, and
that's actually fair. You should take a weekend off. But I will probably Morgan's out of town flying. My fiance's a pilot. If you guys didn't know, she's very cool. But I will be in town, so I will probably host a live CJI watch party on YouTube since they're streaming it free for everyone, like everyone else should be doing.
I'll probably be hammered on Saturday.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think that's it.
Oh no, we did have one more thing